Hello Team LCPS, this is your Superintendent Doug Straley, and I hope you're having a fantastic day as we inch closer and closer to the winter break. It's hard to believe, but we're in the home stretch of this semester. And I believe that thanks to your hard work and your commitment, this past semester has shown people nationwide what excellence in public education looks like under these conditions. We have brought back our students into our school buildings, and we've continued to think differently and innovate, all while working together with our students to maintain safe and healthy guidelines. And at the same time, we're wrapping up the historic first semester of our LCPS Virtual Academy. At the beginning of the year, there were many questions out there and many who thought the road ahead might be too difficult, but not this team and not this community. Again, I am so proud of your efforts thus far, and if we continue to work together, this school year will be one of the greatest examples of teamwork and determination that we've seen in a long time. And as I stand here today, our hope is to continue on into the second semester with the same approach to instruction, where we're able to offer families the choice of our blended learning model or our LCPS Virtual Academy. But there is a topic out there right now that I know many people are talking about, and I want to be as proactive as possible and address it right now so we're all on the same page. And the topic is whether or not our school division is considering a move to a fully remote learning model where all students would learn from home or away from our school buildings. There are a few obvious reasons why this topic is on people's minds. Case numbers are up across the Commonwealth and also across the country. And recently, some school divisions in our region have struggled with cases and have had to pivot to a fully remote learning model. This is the reality of 2020. So right off the bat, I want you to know that we currently have no plans to switch to a fully remote learning model at this time. But at the same time, our team is developing schedules and logistics for if we had to. And I'm going to go over those details in just a moment. Throughout this semester, our local and state health officials have told us that this school division is doing a great job maintaining a healthy and safe learning environment for our staff and students. We've kept case numbers low, and when we've had cases, the number of close contact have been minimal or none at all. This plays a huge role in our ability to maintain in-person instruction, which we've been providing this year longer than anyone across the Commonwealth. This is a huge accomplishment, and it's one that our students, staff, and community has worked together to make happen by making smart choices and practicing healthy habits. And for that, I say thank you, and let's keep it up. But again, being prepared is the name of the game. Our COVID-19 response team has been working hard over the past several months, and especially in the past several weeks, developing plans and logistics for if we ever had to transition to fully remote learning. So I'm going to go over the basics of the plan right now, and I believe in communication. I always want all of us here in Louisa County to be on the same page. When we understand each other and the logic that's used in the decision-making process, we're all better off. As we go over this plan, please remember that every situation and scenario is unique. That means if we ever had a situation where we had to transition to fully remote learning, our plan could evolve based on that situation. But the information I'm going to share with you right now is a good look into what the process would look like. So let's address the main question, which is what could trigger a transition to fully remote learning at LCPS? Some school divisions have a certain number of cases that trigger this move. Others go strictly on feedback from their local health experts. Here's our approach. We have and will continue to meet with the Blue Ridge Health District, which recently changed its name from the Thomas Jefferson Health District, at least 3 times a week. And when we meet, members of our administrative team and health district officials go over the numbers in our area, and we also review our latest health and safety strategies. As I've said, all of those talks have gone extremely well so far this school year, and I can't say this enough. Great job. Your good example and hard work has paid off, and we've kept our number of cases extremely low here at LCPS. So we're in a good place right now. But there are 3 scenarios that could happen where if they did, we could be forced to go to fully remote learning. First, if there is an unsafe situation in our school buildings in which COVID-19 is spreading and our mitigation techniques are not enough to prevent transmission. This would be where all strategies are in place and followed, and the spread was still occurring. Second, we have a significant number of staff members who are forced to isolate because of testing positive for COVID-19 or forced to quarantine due to being close contacts. If we have more vacancies than available substitutes to provide a safe and orderly learning environment, we would need to shift to fully remote learning due to the inability to staff appropriately. And then third, if Governor Northam or the CDC announced guidelines that would prevent us to perform in-school instruction. So those are 3 scenarios we see as ones that could affect our ability to provide in-school blended learning instruction at LCPS. I will say that following Thanksgiving break, we did see an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in our county. So as we head into winter break, I want all of you to relax. I want you to have a good time as a family. But I do ask once again that we all make safe choices and follow our healthy habits, which include wearing a face covering, practicing physical distancing when with others outside of your household, washing your hands, performing daily health screenings, and staying at home when you are sick. It is extremely important that we all understand that all of our choices right now affect everyone. So to keep moving forward with offering a blended learning model, we have to continue to do everything in our power to keep COVID-19 cases down in our community. Working together, we can certainly make this happen. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. If we were forced to transition to a remote learning model, how long would the transition last? That's a great question and a tough one to answer without a specific situation. It could be for a few days, a few weeks, or an extended period of time. But here's what's really important. No matter the length, we all have to work together to be prepared to assist our students so they can continue to learn. So now, let's talk instruction. Let's talk about what school would look like for our blended learning students if we did have a transition to a fully remote learning model. And as we go over this part of the plan, you'll see that it's a lot different than what we did last spring. So here's a look at what it would look like for our blended learning families. During the first 10 days of a transition to fully remote learning, students would continue to work on previously assigned work they would have just downloaded in class days prior to the transition, and then would transition to working on student learning resources as directed by their teacher. These SLRs are the 10 lessons your child's teacher provided your students early in the semester, and these lessons will be updated for the start of our second semester. During the first 10 days of a potential transition, our teachers and instructional staff would maintain office hours and be available to assist students by email each day. I know that this scenario brings up one big topic to the forefront, which is internet. And we're going to get into that in just a minute because we do have several strategies that would assist our students when it comes to access to the internet. So from day one of the transition, we would make sure that quality instruction continues. And families, it's important to know that from day one of a transition, assignments will be graded and feedback will be provided to students. It is critical that students complete all of their work by the specified due date, whether we're face-to-face or remote. We all have to be clear and maintain this standard no matter what. Again, it is going to be much different than last March through May. Assignments will be graded. Now let's look at instruction if the transition to remote learning lasted beyond 10 instructional days. Beginning on day 11, our teachers would start providing synchronous instruction, which involves things like Zoom and Google Meet sessions. A daily schedule would be provided for all students and parents for when these sessions would happen. Attending these sessions will be important. So that brings us to the big topic at hand, internet. You know it's a challenge, and we know it's a challenge. So here are the strategies we've developed to support you. We will provide LCPS transportation for blended learning students who need access to reliable internet. This transportation would take students to either our school parking lots or a nearby WOW unit so they could access high-speed internet and download files to include recording of synchronous sessions, teacher-made videos, and other assignments. On day one of a transition to remote learning, we would send out a survey to you where you could request this transportation. We would take that info, build a schedule, and then share that schedule with you. Again, students who need this option would be able to download instructional content and recordings of Zoom or Google Meet sessions that are created by our teachers. We will also make sure that students on our buses are physically distanced, and our buses would be disinfected after each transport, just like we do now. Also, we have signs ready to go that would direct you to all the areas on our campuses where we've extended our school's Wi-Fi. The important thing to know is if we ever are forced to transition to a fully remote learning model, we will work with you and we will make sure your child is able to continue learning. Whatever it takes, we'll make it happen. Also, there are two valuable resources I want to make sure you keep in mind that we have, even right now. First, our LCPS Help Desk. They're ready and available to assist you with any technological questions you might have. You see the contact information on the screen, and make sure you have this information saved. Our teams will be on site whenever assistance is needed during a transition to remote learning. And don't forget that help is also available right now. Also, don't forget about our LCPS Tech Help page. I encourage you to visit this site as often as you can. It has instructions on how to use your Chromebook or iPad, as well as instructional videos and one-pagers that explain how to do a lot of really important things with your devices, like working in offline mode or deleting files safely so you can have more space on your device. You can access this page right now by visiting any of our websites, hovering over the Parents tab, and clicking on Technology Assistance for Students and Families. Again, there is no one solution to internet or technology issues here in Louisa County. But if we ever do transition to a fully remote learning model, we're going to all have to work together to make sure our students continue to learn. A big part of learning is attendance. So we all need to understand right now that if we transition to remote learning, we will strongly encourage and expect whenever possible that students participate in synchronous sessions like Zoom or Google Meet. Again, attendance will be a significant factor in a student's success. And whenever a student can't attend a live session, they would be expected to view recorded versions of the session, which our teachers will provide. Okay, let's talk about our next topic, school-provided meals. We know a lot of our students rely on our schools for healthy and nutritious meals. And so far this year, our nutrition staff has served more than 350,000 meals. Well, good news. If we ever had to transition to fully remote learning, we continue to support our families through a plan that will provide meals through a combination of curbside pickup at all 6 of our schools, as well as a delivery option as well. Thanks to a waiver from the USDA, all of these meals will continue to be free of charge. Another question, would any students come to our school buildings if we shifted to a fully remote setting? In most occasions, during a shift to fully remote, the first 10 days would be remote learning for all of our students. If we were to continue that transition beyond 10 days, there are specific populations that may, and I stress may, attend face-to-face. Some of our specialty SPED programs and some of our younger grade levels may fall into this category. Any decisions made that would bring students to our buildings would keep safety as the top priority. So those are the basic details of our plan. And again, there is no plan to switch to a fully remote learning model at this time. But what is important is we are prepared if that situation were to come in the near future. I'm so proud of this team and of this community for being proactive, and I think that's played a huge role in our ability to stay ahead of the game. Also, this video was to go over the basics of the plan, but our team worked together to construct a frequently asked questions page that is much more in-depth and detailed. We included the link to this page in the email we sent you with this video, but you can also find it right now on our division webpage as well, which is lcps.k12.va.us. On our division website, You'll also see a link to our Information and Resource Center website. This is a very valuable resource for you as it contains our latest video updates, our FAQ pages, and more. You can access this page right now by clicking on the banner of our division website. And as always, your feedback matters. In the email with this video, we included our community questions form. I encourage you to go through our FAQ pages, and if you have any questions beyond them, visit our community questions form, fill it out, and we'll work to get you an answer as quickly as possible. As I said earlier in this video, we have to remember every situation is unique. This is 2020 and there is no telling what type of situations are ahead of us this school year. But aside from the planning and the logistics, here's the most important thing for you to know. No matter what happens from here on out, our team will support your student and your family every step of the way. We're in this together, and trust me, we've made it work before and we would make it work again, one step at a time. Team LCPS, thank you for taking a moment to watch this video. I'm so proud of this team, and I brag on this community all the time, this community in which I love, because I truly believe we've worked hard and we've worked together to make all of this happen. There's no doubt that this year has challenged us like none other, but I believe we're showing all of those around the Commonwealth what makes this team so special here in Louisa County. So let's keep up the great work, let's continue to make healthy choices, and let's continue to work together. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to serve you and this amazing team, our team, Team LCPS.